Hi, Felicity.
Hello.
Janet Nepales for GMA7. So
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So what made you accept this part of Sully in this post-apocalyptic movie?
I read the script and I felt very moved by it. I found the central relationship between Augustine and Sully very, very moving. I liked the themes that it was addressing, that it was a story about isolation and the desire to connect, the need to connect and how to connect. And little did I know how relevant those themes, those ideas would become over the last few months.
And you were pregnant when you accepted this part. What were the challenges of doing that and also being in space doing those acrobatic scenes?
Well, originally I was very gung-ho. I wanted to do all of the same stunts. I worked very closely with my obstetrician, who consultant, who was helping me through the pregnancy, and she felt that a lot of the stunts you were totally able to do being pregnant, but in the end, George wanted it to be 100% safe, and so we adapted a lot of the stunts to make it more relaxing and more comfortable. So actually I had a rather luxurious time sitting on a very comfy stool for most of those stunt sequences, looking at everyone else doing hard work.
Mhm. Yeah, I read that George had to write down the script that you were pregnant. Were there any problems with that?
Not really. I mean, it was such a joyous moment that for it to be embraced by George was just really, really special. And I mean, that's exactly how it should be, really. That's life, you know. People get pregnant, and why not incorporate it and make it part of the story? Which, testament to George, he was just made it very, very easy. There were a few adjustments we had to make, but generally, interestingly, it didn't feel like a massive shift. And actually, it helped raise the stakes for those characters on the ship.
And also, recently also portrayed Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the movie On the Basis of Sex, and she recently passed away. What were your thoughts on that?
It was a great shock, even though it was something that obviously we knew was imminent. Still, when I heard the news, I really hit me. It hit me quite strongly, and I think it's just what an extraordinary woman, what a person to celebrate. And she had such a impact on the way that I operate and the way that I live my life. And I think she did for countless others. I think she was someone who's totally true to herself, who didn't worry too much about what other people thought, and was a real trailblazer. And I often think of her when I'm in difficult situations. I think, well, what would Ruth do? Because she usually would do the right thing.
And I read too that you put up a production company with your brother. So, what kind of films will you be doing? Are you going to do more children's movies?
I think it'll be a spectrum. You know, we tend to be drawn to rebellious figures, people who go beyond the status quo. That definitely is a theme that comes up. But we are looking at a broad spectrum of stories. I mean, like the decisions I've made with acting, it's about being moved by something and feeling engaged by a story. So yeah, it's been a really exciting time being involved in developing projects, being able to see something through from start to finish. And you know, in some ways, as an actor, you are just a cog in a machine, and so it's nicer to be able to have a little bit more control over the stories that we see in the world.
Thank you very much and hope to see you in person next time.
Fantastic. That would be lovely. I'm sure, fingers crossed, by next year we should be back to some kind of normality. But who knows?
Yes. Bye bye.
All the best. Bye, Jen.